So moving on here to question number 2, can you walk us through a real world example where an AI assistant helped resolve a production issue faster?
Yes, I would be able to help with this question. So we do have a public case study which has been published and available. I have linked it on the. It's been linked on the slide here, and I believe this will be offered as resource afterwards, so you will be able to get access to the same as well. So we do have a customer who Repay. If you're familiar with them, they're a payment processing service. Right? So essentially, if they help businesses collect payments in a secure manner, in a timely manner, right? Like essentially like your mortgages, etc. So the important KPI for them is to always be able to handle all transactions of incoming volume and in a secure, reliant, fast manner, and also be able to not drop any of these incoming requests or transactions, right? So since it's a critical nature, they are heavily focused on observability, and then they have large IT ops and engineering teams who are currently focused on monitoring their environments, right? And they have been one of the first adopters of the AI assistant in Ollie Cloud today. And something that they really did mention, and I've quoted the same here, is essentially that triaging has come down by 50% since they were able to gain access to the assistant, essentially because one, you can ask questions around any services that have been impacted. So in a real world scenario, when they are in an incident and they're troubleshooting, they are able to like ask specific interactive questions to like what's wrong with my service, understand if the service is being impacted by logs, is impacted by metrics, traces, like what are the kind of underlying visibility or evidences that we have, which is help enabling the assistant to come to this conclusion. That has also been really really important to them, because having access to the evidences and links to resources essentially which the assistant used to come to the set conclusion has been said to be something that's very key for them and very useful, because one, it enables you to obviously verify what the assistant is telling you, because we are on an agreement. The technology is not deterministic in nature. But two, it also helps you keep the investigation in a tracked manner, right? Like you do know that these are all the things that have been looked into. Great. Like these are all the boxes checked. There are 7 more boxes. Let me go figure out how the other is working. So even in scenarios when it would not exactly give you the root cause, it is able to automate a lot of the work that an SRE or any human has to do in that manner, right? Because they have to go and physically check for all the logs, look at all the traces, ensure even though the error is bubbled up to them, they still have to make the analysis and spend some time doing all of this. Instead, now the assistant is able to answer these questions for you. They have been some real world scenarios where it has helped someone resolve production issue faster. There have been cases reported from customers where generating signal flow has also like come in really, really handy, even in post-production world, where after something has been resolved, you then go ahead and set up a detector for it, or you ensure that your charts are like showing the correct threshold values going forward so that you can make changes there. That is another use case where it has been really helpful to use signal flow for customers. Essentially, all of the examples that have been provided where customers are actually using it today, it all resolves around a lot around asking service specific questions, right? Like questions around what's wrong with my service, give me a link to all the things that are wrong with it. Are there any dependent services that have been impacted? So these are all things that customers are very useful when they are able to interact with the assistant and ask for such specific targeted questions.
Awesome. And I don't know if we want to do a quick little demo here, Derek, or if that'll be later on.
Yeah, why don't we do that now?
All right, here, let me pass sharing over to you.
All right, thank you. So I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully you can see the Splunk Observability Cloud.
Yep.
All right. So to demo AI Assistant, I'm first going to show you how you would troubleshoot without the assistant, and then we can compare to how you can do that with the assistant. So I've got an application here, has a number of different services. We can see the payment service is having some issues here. It's highlighted in kind of with a red circle here, which means we have root cause errors happening, and this is impacting the checkout service upstream. So if I was sort of an experienced engineer with Splunk, I would click on the payment service, and I may go over to Tag Spotlight, which can help me potentially identify some patterns which could point to a potential root cause, or at least lead me in that direction. So as I scroll through the data here, I see, for example, that the later version of the service, 350.10, has a 100% error rate, and 350.9, the earlier version, has no errors at all. So this kind of gives me a clue that maybe this issue was introduced with my latest deployment, and I need to roll back. But digging further, I could filter the data on that problematic version, and then I could look at one of the traces. Let's go for the first one. So by looking at the trace, this lets me see the where the error is happening in the context of all the other requests. I can see that the error message was invalid request. It's status code 401, so that's the HTTP unauthorized status code, and some other information there. And then I can also look at the correlated logs for this trace. You can see we filtered just on this trace ID. And I see we have an error here. Let me click on that. So the error says it failed payment processing through Buttercup Payments. It says there's an invalid API token. So it looks like someone's using a test token in production and it's failing. So that looks like our root cause and why we're seeing those payment service errors. So I was able to go through that process pretty quickly because I would consider myself an experienced user of Splunk. So I know sort of exactly where to click to find the data that I need quickly. Someone less experienced with the product, they may spend more time clicking around and looking at various traces and things like that. So then moving over to the AI assistant, I'll go back to the service map and click on payment service. And then this time, instead of clicking around on my own, I'm going to bring up the AI assistant in the top right corner here. And then you have the option to type in your own question. You could say, hey, what's wrong with payment service? Or why does payment service have so many errors? But I'm just going to click on the first button here, which actually uses the context of where I am in the application right now. You can see we've got the option here to use the current pages filters. And then it's going to do its troubleshooting based on that context. So we'll see what it comes back with. It is using generative AI, so it is non-deterministic. We never get the exact same answer every time we ask the question. But let's see what it found. So it found almost 80% error rate in the payment service. It found our status code of 401, which is unauthorized. It confirmed that the impacted version is 350.10, and the error message is invalid request. So that's all consistent with what we found in the trace and with Tag Spotlight. And then it also searched the logs, and it found that invalid API token message in the log as well. It provides some links to traces if you want to kind of continue exploring the data on your own. And then it kind of follows up with some recommendations about addressing those 401 unauthorized errors, reviewing the 350.10 version. But it really called out this root cause error, the invalid API token. So that's sort of a comparison of how we troubleshoot traditionally, and then with AI Assistant. And you can see how AI Assistant was able to look at our traces, our logs, our metrics, and even the tags within some of the traces to come to basically the same conclusions that we got to with the manual troubleshooting approach.
Want to sign up for a future community office hours? From community.splunk.com, select events, then Office Hours Ask the Experts to register for a session across platform, security, or observability. Hope to see you in the next one.